What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel. Now, today we're going to be bringing back a series that we haven't really touched on in a while, but, I had a guest that I just really wanted to be on the channel. And so today, for the first time on the channel, we are actually going to be featuring my wife.
Hi.
So, she goes by SnappyBear, big shocker why. And she wants to come on here and play some Pokemans with me, and so I thought, you know what, why not? So, my wife does not play competitive. She just goes through and she completes her decks, which is always good. She goes through, completes her decks, and she likes all the cute Pokemans.
Yes.
And so, today, we're going to build a team and try to use some cute stuff. Probably, there might be a few things that aren't so cute, but she wants to use some cute stuff. And then we're going to take that on the ladder and see if we can't snag a few wins. So, before we started, she chose a Pokemon that she wants to feature, and that is...
Beware.
Now, Beware is her favorite Pokemon.
Best boy.
And so, we're going to be featuring Beware here, and Beware actually in this generation is better than he used to be. His stats have always been, pretty good. I mean... Base 125 attack, really good. Base 120 HP, really good. Base 80 defense coupled with Fluffy is really, really nice as well. So on the physical side, he's decently bulky and he hits really hard, which is great. He's just a little slow at base 60 speed. But that's really his biggest weakness. And then of course that special defense. But there are a lot more physical attackers in this generation than special. So, who knows? We may be able to actually use that to our advantage. Now, going into this generation, we did lose Return, which was Beware's best means of using normal type moves. So, we're going to have to choose something a little bit different with this moveset. But, Beware typically runs two bigger sets, and so we're going to talk about what they are and possibly how we can work those in. He typically runs either a Swords Dance set, which just multiplies his attack by 2, which is cool. Okay. And then you're not locked into anything because we're not going to use a locking in type item. Or you could run Choice Band, which gives you a 1.5 times boost, but you're locked into whatever move, but there's not that turn of setup. You've just got that power right off the bat. Okay. And of course we could run something else entirely. We could run Bulk Up we would be boosting our attack and defense by 1.5 times if we wanted to do that, which would be pretty cool. But yeah, besides that, that's about all as far as setup goes. Anything down here really isn't all that great. So we're going to jump back up here. So which of those sounds most appealing?
Probably Swords Dance, I think. That's the one I've seen most people use.
Swords Dance it is. So yeah, Swords Dance is pretty nice on Beware. It helps him to become even stronger than he already is. 125 attack is really nice. So we are going to go with Fluffy as our ability. It's the only one that's...
Why would you go with any other one?
Well, all of the other ones are pretty much useless on him. So, it is what it is. But so...
Fluffy's the best one.
Fluffy is the best.
Just for the name.
Oh, yeah. Now, we could run... Now, one thing that's awesome is that in this generation, he got access to close combat. And so, that gives him a move that is the same power as Superpower, but it doesn't lower your attack stat. It lowers each of your defenses. So, we're going to want that as our fighting type stab.
Okay.
And then we're also going to want a normal type stab, which his best one is going to be double edge, but that also makes you take recoil. Thing is, he's got a lot of really good moves, and so it's really hard to actually pick which ones you want. We could run Drain Punch instead of Close Combat, though. It's less power, but you get healing back, which would allow us to double edge more. He's got Earthquake, which, ground typing is really, really good. He's got Ice Punch for coverage, Rock Slide, Shadow Claw for hitting ghosts. That's going to be probably useful. Thunder Punch, Zen Headbutt. I mean, he's got a lot of really good coverage. So, do you think Close Combat or do you think Drain Punch on this?
Um,
Close combat is a lot stronger. Drain Punch, we heal 50% of the damage we do, but it's quite a bit weaker.
I always go for ones that heal, just because I always end up needing it.
That's fine. We will click Drain Punch on this one. And with that, we'll go ahead and couple it with Double Edge, and that's our dual stab there. And then we need one move for coverage. We get Earthquake, which is cool. We also now get Darkest Lariat, which is kind of neat. That's a new move that we get in this one, and that would also help it hit ghosts without needing Shadow Claw. And it also ignores target stat changes, which is cool. So if your opponent is boosting up its defenses or whatever, Darkest Lariat just doesn't care, and it just does what damage it would have done anyway. But yeah, there's also Earthquake. Because right now we actually can't touch ghosts at all because of normal and fighting. So we could run Darkest Lariat to hit ghosts, or we could run like Earthquake to hit like a lot of other stuff. But
I like Darkest Lariat. I think that's cool.
Lariat.
And I feel like a lot of people wouldn't think he'd have it.
Right.
You know what
I think it's cool because it is new. It is new for Beware to get Darkest Lariat. So that is really good for its coverage.
Element of surprise.
Exactly. So we also have to now consider, there's a lot to consider going into this, is do we want to run a bulkier set and not really worry about our speed, or do we want to boost its speed and then try to like help its speed with the rest of the team and try to slow down the other team? So we can either worry about it being slow and bulkier, or we can make it faster and try to outspeed everything. What do you think?
I feel like the tortoise and the hare, kind of. So I feel like maybe slower and bulkier.
Slower and bulkier it is. So we're going to go with max HP, max attack, adamant. So that is maximizing our power here. We're not worrying about speed all that much. We're going to be slower than whatever. So we do have to be careful about it, but Fluffy does help. Fluffy helps a lot as far as our bulk goes. We do have to watch out for fire types because we are weak to fire types now with Fluffy. But it's still pretty cool. As for an item goes, we could run something like a life orb would be pretty cool. We could also run like leftovers just to get some healing back, but life orb would also boost our power even more. And we don't take any of the recoil when we use Swords Dance, so we can just SD up, and then Drain Punch to make up for the recoil that we're taking. But it's up to you. What do you think?
I like that. Life orb. Yeah.
Life orb?
Yeah.
All right. So that gives us a 1.3 times boost on top of our already insane power. So yeah, a lot of stuff's going to drop, assuming that we can survive the hit and go ahead and kill it. So we need to figure out what can Beware not really handle, and figure out what other things on the team we need in order to help it out. So let's see. Are we wanting to go with an OU team, or do you want to go like lower tier and go down to RU? Because RU is actually the tier Beware is in, but I figured you'd want to go to the high tiers and just try to wreck the big stuff, the big names.
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. So let's see. What are we weak to? What do we need to deal with? He's kind of weak to flying types, mainly like Corviknight.
Okay.
Drain Punch isn't going to do all that much to a Corviknight, so that's a thing that we need to worry about. We do cover quite a bit. Dragapult with Flamethrower is probably just going to OHKO us in one hit.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Yeah, there's a few things. Special attackers in general, so we're probably going to need something really bulky on the special side in order to take those hits. And I'm trying to think what we would want to do about that. We could run something just to make it a little interesting. We could run something like a bulky Primarina. Now that since it's new, Primarina is really bulky on the special side, so we could run something really bulky there. We could run like a specially defensive Rotom. That's also a thing. Togekiss is a good special wall. let's see.
I do love Togekiss.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Togekiss, also, like, we could run... it won't really deal with Corviknight all that well, though, because it is a fairy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a thing. But if we ran, like, a specially defensive Rotom Heat, I mean, that would be pretty cool.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm between Primarina and Rotom.
Okay, what do you think?
Um,
Or we could run something entirely different. Whatever you're feeling.
I feel like Primarina doesn't get shown off a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
know?
It's very new to the format, and I just deleted Beware. Whoops.
Oh.
We'll bring him back. It's okay. He's still here. Don't worry. It's fine. But yeah, him just being added back, I think he's going to be a little bit better this generation as compared to last gen, just because he did get access to a few new things. And we had Darkest Lariat and Double Edge. There we go. Perfect. All right, he's back. So Primarina is going to be our second one. And so we've got a few options here. We could run either... we could run a, like, really bulky, specially defensive set, like Leftovers. We could even run Calm Mind now. This thing gets Calm Mind, which is pretty cool. And then run it with, like, Scald to burn the physical attackers. We could also run it more offensive and run, like, an Assault Vest, which would boost our special defense by 1.5 times. We just can't run any, like, status moves. It would have to be all attacking moves. So what do you think about that? I just think we need to be kind of bulky. I think that would be nice.
Yeah, I think so too.
So what do you think?
I think Calm Mind sounds interesting.
Calm Mind. Let's go. So we're gonna go with Leftovers here. And we're going to say Calm Mind. And what else do we want to run on this? I think we want to run Scald. That's going to help us to lessen the power of those physical attackers that would want to come in on this. And that'll make Beware's bulk a lot better. Now, another thing that's new this generation, and I talked about Primarina a lot in my video that did the starters for Alola. That'll be up in the iCard above. But he also gets access to Draining Kiss now, which gives it a form of recovery. It's only a 50 base move, but you recover 75% of what you deal. So, like, if you start boosting up with Calm Mind, you're going to start doing a lot of damage and healing a lot of health back. So, I mean, it's pretty cool, but Moonblast does a lot more. And Moonblast can lower their special attack. So what do you think? We've got weaker move that gives some healing, or we've got quite a bit more powerful and helps with our special bulk with Calm Mind.
Yeah, I think Moonblast.
Moonblast.
For sure.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
And then I think our last move, we should probably run Ice Beam for... we should probably run Ice Beam just to be able to hit the Corviknight for a decent amount of damage. So we're going to run max HP, and then we're going to put 4 in defense here, and then the special defense will get boosted and the special attack will get boosted with Calm Mind, so that's pretty cool right there. Okay, so next, let's see, what do we want to do next? That's a really good wall for things such as Hydreigon, which is neat. It walls Dragapult pretty well. Yeah, I think Primarina is going to be pretty nice. Let's see.
Cool.
What else do we want? I have a feeling we might see some regular Darmanitans around. And, well, I mean, Primarina can take probably 1 Flare Blitz, probably not 2. And Beware definitely can't take 1 because of Fluffy. So we may want to be thinking about that. What do we want to do next? Was there another Mon you were thinking about that you were wanting to use at all, or?
I do love Mimikyu.
Mimikyu?
Yes.
Alrighty. Now that is 2 fairies, but
Oh, okay.
but Mimikyu serves a very different purpose than Primarina. And so I mean, as long as we're not like super weak to like poison or anything on the rest of the team, I mean it's still going to be fine.
Oh, okay.
So the most common set on this is going to be a Life Orb set as well, with Swords Dance.
Okay.
And then we're going to carry Shadow Sneak for the priority, Shadow Claw, and Play Rough. And yeah, this thing's pretty scary though. I mean, being able to just get off a free Swords Dance when your opponent just is hitting you, I mean, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mimikyu can work. All right. So what do we want to do for the next one? What are we currently like weak to? We're weak to Primarina takes neutral from Steel. Mimikyu's weak. Beware's neutral. So we're not like super weak to it. Let's see.
Said poison, we might have a problem, right?
Poison, we might have an issue. And I'm trying to think what would our like premier poison type users be. Some Cinderaces are carrying Gunk Shot now.
Really?
Yeah, they're carrying it for Sylveon.
Oh, okay.
So that's a thing that could be that could show up. And instead of Primarina, we could always run Sylveon instead, and that gives us Wish support. And it's already pretty bulky on the special side. So I mean, but that's up to you. Let's see here. What are we thinking here? We should probably get another special attacker next. And we should probably have something that can deal with poison types. So like a psychic type, a ground type, something like that.
Okay.
What do you think as far as psychic or ground, or just something that prominently carries those typings, I guess? I mean, a lot of things get access to ground type moves, so I mean,
Yeah.
you're not like locked in on one specific thing. What you thinking? What you thinking? We also should be thinking about stealth rocks. Any kind of hazards are going to be really nice for helping Beware to sweep. So yeah, anytime we can set up hazards would be really nice.
Is Hatterene psychic?
Hatterene is psychic, but that's also a third fairy.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, okay.
yeah, so I'm gonna say probably not on the Hatterene.
Yeah.
We do have like Jirachi, which is a thing.
Yeah.
We have what else? Alolan Raichu, but he sucks. I mean, he does.
That's so mean.
I mean, he's bad. He's just really bad.
He didn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. He does.
Oh.
Exactly. He does nothing.
What about, would Celebi be okay?
Celebi could be interesting. We don't have a grass type currently.
I love grass types too.
The thing about Celebi, so Celebi isn't necessarily like awful, but the problem that Celebi suffers from is it has literally the worst typing in the game.
Oh.
Like it has the same number of weaknesses as the new monkey, Zarude.
Yeah.
They both have, it's like 7 weaknesses or something like that. Yeah, it has the most weaknesses in the game. So it's one of those where you have to be faster than your opponent and get off the damage that you're going to get off, or you're probably just going to die because you're weak to so much stuff.
It wouldn't be worth it.
I'm not going to say it's not going to be worth it, but that does hold it back. You could run like a fast offensive set. That is a thing. I mean, it does get access to Recover. It gets access to Stealth Rocks. If you wanted to run like a bulkier set, it gets U-Turn for pivoting. It gets Zen Headbutt if you were running something more offensive. And all of its stats are equal. So it can run physical or special or bulky or whatever. It's a blank slate as far as that goes. So do you want Celebi, or do you want to think about something else possibly?
I think Celebi's cool, but if there's a better option, then...
I mean, Celebi is... I don't think there's another grass psychic type. And of course, Celebi is, has just returned. So we could run something a little sneaky on Celebi.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to run like an offensive Celebi, or do you want to run more like a bulky Celebi, like a defensive something?
Our other 3 are pretty bulky, aren't they?
Beware's decently bulky, Primarina's pretty bulky, Mimikyu is not.
It has that one free hit though, so I feel
Right,
like
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think kind of more offensive.
More offensive. Okay, so we could run something really weird, is like a scarfed Celebi. That could be interesting.
Okay.
We also get like Nasty Plot, which is a thing, but I don't think that Celebi can really afford to be like taking the time to set up and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, yeah, a scarf one wouldn't be like awful. It'd be interesting for sure. I don't think I've ever seen one, but doesn't mean it's not a thing that can happen. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's go with that. All right, so we're gonna go with a choice scarf Celebi. You're seeing it here, new meta. It's happening.
We're gonna do this, and then literally tomorrow, everyone's gonna be like,
Honestly, that's not gonna happen.
"Look, I have the best great idea ever."
So we're definitely gonna carry Leaf Storm. Leaf Storm is our like in and out. We come in, blast something with a Leaf Storm, them not expecting us to have that kind of power, and yeah, that's gonna be really nice. We can also carry Giga Drain, or one or the other. Leaf Storm is there for like all out power, and then we've got to get out. Giga Drain would be there for healing, because we're not going to really carry anything else as far as healing goes. We're going to carry Psychic as well, just for the dual stab. Then we're going to carry U-turn so that we can get out of there. Like we can pivot out if we need to. And then we need one more move. Earth Power, probably. We can do Earth Power or Aura Sphere. I think Earth Power is probably going to be a little more useful.
Yeah.
So we're going to go with Earth Power, and we're going to go with a Timid Scarf set at 328 speed. Let's see. 328 if we're Scarfed is going to end up being 492, which is faster than Dragapult, which is really nice.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, Dragapult gets to like 420 something, 421. But that's also not Scarfed. These things, the Dragapults sometimes do run Scarf, so you do have to be careful about that. But I mean, I think it's pretty cool. But this thing is hard walled by Dragapult anyway, so we're really not going to leave this in on a Dragapult. And we're probably, anytime that we bring this in and they have a Dragapult, we're probably just going to click U-turn. So, yeah. Now, we don't have any kind of hazards or removal, which could be kind of an issue. So, we may want to start thinking about that next. An obvious choice would be something like an Excadrill, like a Moldbreaker Excadrill. That would help us against something like a Rotom, because right now Rotom is kind of scary. A Rotom Heat is kind of scary against our team. Although Excadrill like dies to a Rotom Heat too. Yeah, Rotom Heat's looking kind of scary right now for us.
Okay.
So what do we want to do about a Rotom Heat?
Do we need like a good ground type?
A good ground type would be nice. Yeah, I think that would be good. But what do we want to do here? The only really like amazing ground type in this format is going to be Excadrill, but that's also weak to what's it called? It's also weak to fire. But we could we can still use it. I typically run Focus Sash on these anyway with Moldbreaker. And that ignores their Levitate, which is cool. So you can still kill them with ground type moves.
Oh, okay.
So that's a thing. And we're naturally faster. So as long as they aren't scarfed, then we outspeed and just kill it.
Okay.
So I mean that's something. And if it goes for like overheat or something, then we just go into Primarina, and then Primarina would hardwall that, and then we can just set up Calm Minds for free.
Yeah.
So do you want to go with an Excadrill here?
Yeah.
All right, Excadrill it is. We could also go with well, Excadrill covers both. It covers Rapid Spin and Stealth Rocks at the same time, which is pretty unique and what makes it really awesome. So besides that, we're going to run EQ. That's just, we have to. And then we can run either Rock Slide or Iron Head. Those are our other two big options. Or Poison Jab. Whatever you think. What do you want out of those three? Or Shadow Claw. But typically it's going to be between Iron Head and Rock Slide.
I think Rock Slide, probably.
Rock Slide. Alright. And we're going to go with a Jolly max speed set there. Okay, so. Oh, I want to give him an item. That'd be good. Us go into a battle and him not have his focus sash. Alright, so for our last member, what do you see as far as like a big hole in our team? Do you see anything as far as that goes? We have a grass and water for like a fire water grass core, but then we don't have the fire. So we could always run a fire type.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
I like that idea.
We could run something like a Rotom, or we could run something like a Arcanine could be a thing we do. Arcanine's actually can be immune to fire.
Yeah, I think Arcanine, because that was my first shiny.
That's true. So
that was my first shiny.
So let me tell you about
you
Arcanine.
Tell the story.
So also we're gonna make this Arcanine shiny because
you have to.
Yeah. So so my wife's first game ever, her first Pokemon game ever was Moon, and
great game.
And so she is playing through, and she's completing the decks as she goes, catching everything on the route, whatever. And she runs up on like the second or third route, whatever it is, where you can catch a Growlithe. And she runs up, and the very first thing she runs into in this route, in the second or third route of her very first game, is a Growlithe. And then she just says, "Hey, it did this weird animation. What is that?"
Yeah, I'm like, it just does this weird sparkly thing, and I don't know the difference.
And I look down, and that's a shiny Growlithe. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
He literally said, drop your DS. Don't touch anything.
And so we drop the DS, and it's sitting there, and we're both like, okay, what do we do? And so, yeah, so that's where shiny Arcanine became a thing. And so she used it for the rest of her playthrough, obviously. But yeah, he
was very upset with me.
I was very upset, and I'm still a little upset, but it's fine. I mean, I did get two full odd shinies in Sword and Shield, so that was pretty cool.
But not like encounter though.
That's true. I got them from eggs.
Because I played Let's Go after that and got
two shinies. Yeah, Yeah, Let's Go. She had a shiny Graveler and a shiny Rhydon that
just walked in the door.
They pop up and they're shiny, and I was very upset. So she has played all of like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah,
I've played them all, and she is beating me in shinies, like in legitimate shinies, 3-2, and it's like, just like ones that you just randomly find. I've been traded plenty, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There we go.
Anyway, that's our story. So, would you like to run Intimidate, which lowers the opponent's attack by 1 stage when we switch in, or Flash Fire, which makes us immune to fire type attacks, and then it boosts our fire type attacks by 1.5 times?
Flash Fire.
Flash Fire.
For sure.
Okay, so I think we're gonna run. You ever seen a dog with boots on?
I have. I was looking on Pinterest, and someone
of course you have.
had little snow boots on their dog's paws. He was so upset. He was walking around so funny. Oh my gosh. No. I was laughing for like 10 minutes.
Okay, so Arcanine now gives us an immunity to fire, which is really nice because otherwise we're kind of weak to it. And that's why I want to have boots on here so that he doesn't just die to rocks on switch-in. Now, do you think run like an offensive set or more like a bulky set? Because Flash Fire is typically like... Well, Flash Fire can go either way, honestly.
Yeah.
But he does get access to extreme speed, which is a form of priority, which is really nice for picking up those KOs that otherwise you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
He also gets like healing in the form of Morning Sun. He gets Psychic Fangs for getting rid of screens, Play Rough, Superpower. I mean, he gets all kinds of stuff.
I feel like more offensive just because of the speed thing.
Right, that's true. So, I mean, he is base 95 speed, which is not bad at all. So, we're going to go with an offensive build here that just that is able to avoid the fire type attacks. So, we're definitely going to want a good old Flare Blitz on here just for bashing in all kinds of things. We've got, what else do we want? We can run Close Combat, which is very strong.
Mm-hmm.
And then for our last move, we could go with Crunch, which helps to cover like Ghosty Boys and all that kind of thing. We could run, what else do we want to run? We could run Iron Head, but prob's not. We also have Play Rough and Psychic Fangs, just for covering all kinds of other stuff. We also have Will-O-Wisp, which burns the opponent. That's also a thing that we could use. Or we have Wild Charge. That helps to cover water types.
I'm kind of thinking Crunch.
Thinking Crunch. All right.
I just like that move a lot. Like, it's gotten me out of a lot of sticky situations.
Crunch is definitely a good move that...
yeah.
And Dark typing in general is pretty good offensively. It's not that great defensively, but like as an offensive typing, it's pretty good. So yeah, that looks like 6 Pokemons if I've ever seen them. Now, would you like to go back and change anything? If you and you may do that if you'd like.
No, I'm good.
You're good?
I like it.
All right. Well, I believe this is going to be the team. And so we are going to be taking this team on the OU ladder come next Monday. I know you got to wait a day, but it's fine. You guys will be fine. The suspense of waiting that one whole day. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for today's team building session of Taking Them to School with the wifey. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below. Leave a comment saying how great she is, because otherwise she'll come find you. And then it is. And anyway, we will see you guys next time. Anything else you want to say before we head out?
I love you.
Well, I love you. So anyway, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.